Now, before you go slamming my pick for subwoofer or the sub that's in my current setup, hear me out. I've listened to an absolute ton of different subs over the years, whether it's Cars, Pro Audio, the Bose slap together, this will sound awesome kit. And for those of you that don't know, Bose actually stands for better off with something else. Anyway, this thing is such a good deal. You guys are just going to, based on price alone, if you click on the link below, you're going to think this thing is garbage. I have spent a lot more money for subs or for a subwoofer for my system. Now, what this sub won't do is if you're massively lacking mid-bass, don't get it. If you actually have a set of tower speakers or even a decent two-way setup, this thing is going to satisfy your cravings. All right, so without further ado, here is the Bic F12 or Formula F12, whatever the case is. This is the sub. I bought this thing as just a hold me over while one of my Polk, actually my old Polk sub was going on warranty work for a burnt out component inside the amplifier. Anyway, I never even went to pick it up, honestly. That thing is still at the warranty shop, or they've probably resold it by now. Anyway, I don't care, because this thing is way better than what I had. Where this sub will shine is if you're not cranking the berries out of it. It provides nice, deep, low punch, fills up, just fills up that space, that low end, really well. Very impressed. If you've got like a massive explosion in a movie or something crazy going on, this is where this thing shines. And don't let that fool you. This thing actually sounds really well in music as well, as long as it's not overtaking everything. But it does fill in that nice, like a punch if you have it on dance, that low, that just, that foot thumping goodness going on. It fills that in really nice. It does get sloppy after you start pushing it really hard. Now, what do I mean by that? Like it's got a 0 to 10 setting or whatever for your gain. And as you can see, mine is set quite low. But if you start pushing it past that, it doesn't sound good. Like it'll rock your house. It'll shake your house down. But it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound pleasant. Whereas right now, what the Ugless 420 and company is kind of missing is, I'd say, somewhere around the 40 hertz-ish lower, maybe 50. Anyway, somewhere down there, it's missing that. And the F12 does actually a quite lovely job of filling that up. Even if I'm listening just with the Polks, the Polk RTI A7s, it fills up that low end really adequately. I almost, like, it's really turned down far, but it's very noticeable if it's missing. My only beef with this unit is the cover on the front. For whatever reason, they want this cover on all the time. If you take this thing off, this top hole here actually is like right into the box. It'll start whistling and it drives you bonkers, which is okay because I'm going to leave the grate on or the cover on anyway, so then I don't hear any port noise from that little hole. Why they design it that way, I don't know. Whatever. Small little gripe. And the other one might not be a gripe as much as whatever, but you'll see the way it's placed in my system. I don't have this thing front facing. It sounds the best to me if it's pointed at the corner with the port pointed back across, so it kind of shoots across the back of the TV kind of thing. That's where, to me, it sounds the best. I've tried it in a couple of different spots. The corner that it's in now, the opposite corner with the covered up birds that were singing for us just moments ago, and on either side of the tower, And this is kind of where I just really like it, where I think to me it sounds the best. It gives the bass a little bit of time to fill in, get full, and sound nice. So it's probably not the best subwoofer out there. I'm sure it's not, but I can't even design and build one for this price. Like, this thing is just dirt cheap. If you're looking for an easy bass fix, don't even bother building anything. Just pick this thing up. Spend your time and effort building your tower like I am. I think that's probably the right way to go. In the future, I might just tell you something totally different. I might get the whatever live EQ or live crossover version of a speaker, and that just might really be the fix for everything. But I think I picked it up for like 220 or 250 bucks or something. It's just cheap, and for the price, you're not going to find better. Even if you're just going to rip apart and get the components out of it or change something out, I mean, it's a good deal. I've also been using it for quite some time. I've had that thing now for a good it's going on 5.5 or so years, and no issues with it. I've burnt out, by the way, the reason why I've got it is because I burn out everything else because it never gives me what I want. Not the case with that sub. It's the Bic F12. It's giving me exactly what I want for my current setup. So I thought I should share that with somebody else. I'm sure there's people on the fence with this thing or looking for a different sub. For, I would say, probably 1,200 bucks and under, you're not going to find better. And this thing's a fraction of the price. It's going to sound like I'm sponsored. I am not sponsored. I just bought it on a whim to fill a hole while I was getting warranty work done on a different sub. Never even bothered picking the other one up. Couldn't care less about it because this thing is that good. It's exactly what I want. So until I go bigger and much better and something that's going to cost me a heck of a lot more for a budget sub, you're just not going to get better off. Anyway, enough ranting. Next time up, hopefully I will have finally made my decision on what kits next. I think I already know what I'm doing. I think it's going to be that ZAF audio. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm still waiting to kind of hear back from a different manufacturer as to kind of where I'm going to go next. But that video will come up once I make the decision. I'll show you guys what the plan is, and we'll go forward and we'll get back to building some speakers. But until then, I hope somebody else found this useful, and if you did get yourself a Bic F12, let me know what you thought of it.